What's up, guys? It has been a hot second, man. I think in the last 3 weeks, I've posted a grand total of like 2 or 3 videos. So apologies for that, but we are back. Video is getting posted tonight. Actually, maybe tomorrow morning, only because the videos do have to upload. So, it, like, if you know what I mean, like, it has to upload to the cloud, because I guess, you know, what I could try is I could try editing them on my phone somehow, but, I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna see if this light can be turned off, and you guys probably want this on. So, yeah, I haven't really been, like, super busy. Just, I haven't worked out since I hit 405 on bench. So it'll be almost a week break from working out. But, man, I saw this TikTok, and it is so relatable. It's like, I've achieved I've achieved more than what most 40-year-olds achieve in their lifetime, or what most 40-year-olds have achieved in their life. And, you know, it's obviously a lifter there, and you're like, oh, yeah, he's going to brag about his lifts. But what really goes down is that he's sitting there, and he's talking about his crippling back pain, his knee pain, and, you know, all the other problems that come with lifting. So I found that pretty relatable, because ever since I've started lifting and football together, I've had back pain, and it's like in my upper back. Like, it's my upper back gets these like terrible knots, and it's like my upper back is just constantly so tight, and like popping my neck and stuff, and like doing some stretches does relieve it a little bit, but it's only a temporary solution. So, you know, yeah. I am gonna try to nail this in here. All right, how about that? How does that work for you guys? I just had to fix the doohickey, because the old doohickey wasn't cooperating. Distracted driving is bad, guys. All right, I'm gonna have to fix the old doohickey again. Oh, someone's getting pulled over. I'm just gonna pull over, get this untangled, because I do not want to crash into someone while driving distracted, and especially do not want to be distracted driving in front of a cop. So I'm gonna. By the way, if you're just joining me now, I am not getting pulled over, despite what you may think. So there's that. But we just did a good deed and stopped to fix the orientation of the car, or the orientation of the phone on the car. So I couldn't quite make out who was getting pulled over. I didn't even look, to be honest. But either way, hope it's nothing serious. But, you know, one thing I was gonna kind of work my way into, as far as, you know, stuff goes, is this song, which I always kind of wrote it off as like a TikTok-y, crappy, you know, like, oh, well, people just like it because other people like it type song. But I was listening to it, and man, it hits hard. And it's like, damn. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like I feel like I should be talking in a Mexican accent, man. Like, you know, that guy, that's not racist, by the way. You know that guy from Ant-Man who tells the stories, you know? And he's like talking, he's like, man, I can't find, he's like, I can't find the thing, I don't know how to describe it, and he's like, just keeps rambling. You know what I'm talking about, if you get the reference and whatever. So, I feel like I should be, I'm just gonna throw out a wild law. I'm gonna throw a law out here, and I don't even know if it's anywhere near accurate, but his name may be Michael Pena. Or Michael Pena. Because I think that's a Pena. It's an Enye. So it would be Pena. I think something like that maybe. It's P-E-N-Y-A or Enye. I think that's how you'd spell it in Spanish. Yeah, either way. You know what I'm talking about. The guy from Ant-Man is what's his name? You get the thing. You know what I'm talking about. So either way, don't even know what I was talking about to begin with. But okay, so I was listening to the song. Wrote it off as kind of like a TikTok-y song, and I listened to it. I listened to the whole song, and it's like, damn. I was like, man, that hit hard. Like, not in like a that's tough or like, you know, like a, oh, I'm so sad. It's just like something I've never really felt before. It's like it's a song that's beautiful, you know? Like when you look at a woman and you find your first truly beautiful woman that you've ever seen, and you're like, damn, you're just sitting there like you're in awe of her beauty. And that's what this song is that I was listening to. And at least in my opinion, I don't know why, it just kind of like it was just like, maybe, okay, it helped that it was over, the song was over the video of the starship crashing on re-entry, if you know what I'm talking about, how one of the starships burned up, and it looked really, really cool when it was burning up in the atmosphere. But the song is called Freaking Out by Dexter and the Moonstones or something like that, I think. And I'm not like trying to LARP here and say that, you know, I've known this band forever and I love their songs or whatever. That's not the case. Never heard of this band until I looked up the song. But I heard this one specific part in the song, and I was just like, wow. And you know what I'm talking about. You guys all know what I'm talking about. It's not like the thing where it goes, you know, like I got something in my system and it's like the guitar comes in, it's like da-da, you know? It's not that part. It's not like da-da-da. You know what I'm talking about. It's not that part. It's later on in the song. It's probably about 2/3 of the way through. That part, it just like, it hit, and like it was like wow. I don't know. I just thought I'd tell you guys about that, because that was something. I guess part of it is like I was just like racking my brain, and I was just getting like crazy nostalgia too, because like I was thinking about how the school year is done now, and I'm like, bro, what? And like I was thinking about my A-push class, and man, like I'm gonna miss that class. That class was literally so peak. I'm gonna tear up, man, thinking about this. 16-year-old who benches 405 is, you know, practically tearing up about his class being over. But the truth is that I'm gonna miss every single one of you guys that were in my class, because you guys all made that class special, and you guys made that a period to look forward to every single day. And I'd like to thank you guys for that, and especially the teacher too, Mr. Brooks. He is an amazing teacher. He's so like, he's such a good teacher. I don't know how to like even put it into words. Like, so basically, here's the situation, right? In order to take Spanish 3 this year, you had to take A-push because of how the schedules were set up. That's how, frick, dude. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull off to the side here, adjust this, because I'm not gonna do it, you know, while we're driving. I'll get back into the store though. All right, I think we're good to go now. But either way, I was talking about it, and I was like, So here's the situation, right? For A push, you in order to take Spanish 3 this year, because of the way the guidance counselor at our school had set things up, in order to take Spanish 3, you were forced to be an A push at the same time. So any student who was wanting to take Spanish 3 also had to be in AP US History. And so that put a lot of people in the class that just did not want to be there and were not in there to take the class, that were only there to take Spanish 3. And so what he did was he actually made it really easy to get an A in the class, or at least a good grade, as long as you did your homework and as long as you did everything, as long as you did everything and you actually put effort into it, he would give you an A. And he wasn't, super strict like a normal AP class would be. And actually it turns out that, most of us failed every single test, including me. I only passed maybe 3 tests. But the one test that I did pass, I got the highest grade in the class on one test, and that was the final. But the highest grade in the class was a 59. So, take that as you will. But either way, I got the highest grade in the class for the final, but I didn't even pass it. If that kind of puts into perspective, how A push is. But so the tests. So here's how I did it. He structured it so that way the tests were weighted enough, or not weighted enough to majorly bomb your grade if you failed it. So that way those students who were in his class because they had to be, not because they wanted to be, could still pass and be fine. But that, holy cow, it smells like someone smoking weed right there on the side of the road. That's not a skunk, that's weed. Jeez, okay. Either way, back to the thing. Oh my goodness. It's lingering. Maybe it was a skunk. Either way. So he made it so that way the tests wouldn't affect your grade if you were a student who was forced to be an A push. But he also made the tests hard enough that the students who were there to be an A push and there to learn would actually be challenged by the tests and stuff. So he was really, really, really cool. And I didn't even realize that he was doing this until midway through the year, almost towards the end of the year. I didn't even realize he was doing this towards the end of the year, because I don't know. I just kind of always took it for granted, and I don't know. Either way, I didn't realize he was doing this, and then I realized that he was really looking out for his students, and I mean that alone almost made me tear up, because I was like, damn, I didn't see that because it was kind of just behind the scenes, but he cares so much about his students, and I don't know, it's just he's such a good teacher. And since most of us failed the final, he didn't put it in for us, so we don't have a final grade for AP US History for semester 1. There's no final grade. He didn't put it in because we all did so bad that he didn't want it to be, on our college applications. And so he's a G for that, and I really appreciate him. And he is, he's become, one of my favorite teachers ever. He's man, he's just, I don't know. I know I'm blazing right now, but damn, it's sad that I'm not going to have him again as a teacher. But I think part of it too was that he helped me grow as a student, but also as a man. Back freshman year, I was really obnoxious, and I was annoying, and I would say stuff all the time. And one time I said something that made him mad, and he sent me to the office, and then after that, I wrote a scathing email to him, which I it's like I feel bugs crawling into my skin when I feel about it to this day. It was the most embarrassing thing that I've ever done in my entire life. I wrote this pure, like, rage-filled email to him, and it was using like the most obscure words of all time. Like, there was this word, it was like quipua or something like that, and it meant like mentally ill, or I don't even know, it's something like that. And then, you know, I called, so he had kind of like, at least I thought that he had kind of like framed the situation, you know, kind of almost maliciously. That's the view that I kind of thought. Looking back at the referral that he gave me, it was not malicious at all. But I was kind of upset, and so I accused him of trying to be malicious. And part of the thing was, like, I called his referral the utmost quality of malarkey, and I also I said, you've not only, I think this is word for word what I said. I think, you have not only painted me as a terrible villainous child, but you have also tarnished my high school reputation forever. And oh, dude, that was like the cherry on top for embarrassment. Like, holy cow, I can't believe that those words were actually sent to that man. And either way, you know, we had a talk at sort of towards the end of the year, because I got into trouble again for saying something obnoxious to my buddy. And so he called us up at the end of class, and I didn't hear that, so I left. And then I got in some trouble for that, and I went up to his room during lunch, because I didn't know, because I hadn't heard that he had asked us to stay after class. And so basically, either way, my buddy he stayed after class, obviously, because he heard it, and I didn't hear it because I wasn't paying attention. I was probably talking to someone, to be honest. But my buddy went after class, so he wasn't in there by the time that I had gotten up there, because it was probably mid-lunch period. And I went up and I apologized. You know, I didn't realize that I, you know, hadn't heard the thing, and so hadn't heard what he said. And so either way, I go in, and he called my dad, and, you know, he was so nice about it. He was like, you know, what can we do to fix it? He was like, you know, what can we do to fix this? Because, you know, I'm noticing that it's kind of a problem with you, you know, interacting with other students. And, you know, I was like, well, you could move me. And he was like, well, I don't want to do that, because then you wouldn't be sitting by your buddies. And that's kind of the point that I had realized, that Mr. Brooks is really just out there to make a difference in students' lives. Because any other teacher probably would have just called my dad. I would have gotten like a detention or something like that, and that would have been the end of it. But Mr. Brooks helped solve the problem. And I was probably maybe like distracting at some point throughout the rest of the year, but I don't think I did anything again after that. And you know, I don't know. And then this year I was applying for jobs, and I asked him to review my resume, and you know, he was super, super helpful. Told me a story about when he was a kid, his one of his first jobs, and then he gave me some advice on like places I could work and stuff. And you know, I let him know that I'm working at a gym and everything now. And so, and he was just, man. All right, I should write an email to him thanking him for everything, because I know I'm not gone, but man, it's you know, it's, I don't know, it's just hard to think about. Sorry guys, this has been like the most emotional car ride ever. Let's just get in check. Go on. Just get in check. All right. So, either way, damn. He's probably made one of the biggest differences in my life of any other person I've met. And I'm so upset at myself that I'm just starting to realize it now. But he's one of the goats for real, guys. I'm gonna get inside and get warmed up for bench. So I will see you guys for that first set of bench then.